Hi, I'm Jenny Jeweler, retired emergency dispatcher, and we're going to do something just a little different today. I was sent this audio file by a previous cohort, and I was told only this information that you see here. Now, once we're done with this and I know what the call actually is, I'll have the correct information on the thumbnail. But this is a reaction, so I have not listened to this call, but it is a mishandled call from Canada and from BC Ambulance Service up in Canada. All right, let's go ahead and give this a listen. And again, first time reacting, if first time reacting to anything, if this goes and falls flat, please tell me. And we'll never do this again. But for right now, let's go ahead and get this party started, shall we?
BC Ambulance, for what city?
Victoria.
What's the
Oh, cool. Have you ever been to Victoria? Victoria's beautiful. They have a gorgeous rose garden up there.
address?
It's Sir Arthur Curry. We live in the Ubic residences.
Okay, let me just see here.
I'm going to rewind a little bit. I couldn't hear what she said.
It's Sir Arthur Curry. We live in the Ubic residences.
Okay.
Oh, Victoria
here.
University residences. Okay.
I'm just
Kinda
looking
have
at the residence
Yeah, I kind of have in my brain where it might be.
locations here. So what is it called?
It's Sir Arthur Curry, and it's off of Lot 5.
Arthur Curry? Lot 5?
All right, so we have a where. Not bad in the first 30. Let's see if we get a what and a who.
Arthur Curry.
Okay.
And
Hold on one second here. I gotta find.
Whoa. Oh, okay. I hope this isn't what they sent it for me for. I have a pet peeve about people interrupting when you're trying to get information, because you might get that one specific piece of information you need, but if you interrupt the caller, it's gone.
Find you first. Okay. What's the unit number?
it's 308.
And any buzzer code?
No, I'll come let you guys in when you...
I'm sorry, what? Okay. So, pre-arrival, why they're doing pre-arrival right now, I don't know. We have the address. We need to move on to what's going on and who is involved, right? But we're 46 seconds in, so I got to be patient here. But yeah, they're doing pre-arrival in the beginning of this call, and that makes absolutely no sense to me. Pre-arrival means when they show up, have their medications ready, is there a door code, let's get them access. Right now, we're trying to get them rolling, so that's even more important, is to find out what's going on, what the response needs to be, and get them going.
Because we can't just call you, right? The dispatcher has to call, and it just delays things. So if you've got a buzzer, that would be easier for us.
Oh, la-di-da, okay. So that rubs me raw. That, please make it convenient for me as the call receiver dispatcher. Okay. This is not a good start to a call that's supposed to last another 14, 15 minutes.
We don't have a buzzer, but I will be waiting at the door, and I will let someone in.
That's fine enough for me, but I would have gotten that as pre-arrival. I would be more concerned about what's actually happening here.
Okay. So I have 3800.
Oh my freaking God. All right. I mean, I get confirming the address. I get it.
Finerty Road.
It's just 308.
No, I just mean the address.
Oh, God, you're correcting her? You're correcting the person giving you information. You're telling... Oh, I'm mad already.
Sorry, yes, sorry, yes.
Okay,
sorry.
and so it's off of Lot 5.
Yes.
And please spell the building for me.
No. What the hell, man? Why are we doing this? We don't even know what the hell you're responding to yet. We're a minute 23 in. This should have been in the queue 23 seconds ago. Right now, if I'm being generous. So we should have the where, the what, and the who. And working on the additional details and getting that in there right now, not pre-arrival.
SIRARCUR. No, sorry, CHUR. And then CURRIE.
Don't penalize your caller for your lack of ability to spell or understand how words work.
So, Foxtrot, India, Romeo.
Ah! Keep in mind this is a reaction video. I'm so pissed off right now. I get it. I mean, you're trying to confirm, right? But do we freaking know what we're responding to? No, we're almost 2 minutes in and we don't know what the hell the call's about. What the hell is this?
No, Alpha, Romeo, Tango, Hotel, Uniform, Romeo.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yes. I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So lot 5 is the best access for us.
Yes, that'll be the quickest access.
But for what? Access for what? What the hell are you responding to? We are 2 minutes in exactly, and I am really livid. I am very unhappy with this call.
All right.
What the frickin' hell are you doing? What are we responding to? Not dead silence. We don't even know what kind of... Ooh, okay.
I just don't see that building on my map.
Me.
Robert Wallace.
You want me to respell it?
No, I just mean...
No, I don't want you to respell it. What are we frickin' responding to? And you could get more information once they're in the area. If they have like the general area and building and parking lot, she's gonna wave them in to get them to the right place. We've already established that, but we don't know what you're responding to. At almost 2.5 minutes in.
I just don't see it here off of lot 5. Maybe it's just not one of the ones labeled on my map here.
Oh, it might not be. It's the Craig Derrick office, like residences, like that area near the residence office.
All right, so at this point, we know this is at like campus housing for University of Victoria. So that much I got out of the call so far. That's all we know. We don't know if there's a shooting. We don't know if someone fell off a building or cut their hand off or, well, producing something in the theater section, falling from a rafter. We don't know any of this stuff. We don't know what's going on. Almost 3 minutes in and we don't know what the response is.
I can always,
Is it University House 5?
No, it's University Parking Lot 5, and then I can just meet you guys in the parking lot, and I'll show you guys.
Yeah, I'll put that you're going to meet us. That's fine. And you've given me so it's F as in Foxtrot, right? Not S
Get off the address. You got it. Go.
as in Sam. For the building name, it's S, Foxtrot for Foxtrot, or S,
We need to know what you're responding to.
Sierra.
Oh, it's S, like Superstar.
Okay, so I want to share with you the minutes matter speech because I'm on my soapbox right now. Minutes matter. Second save. If you want to write that down, like if you are an emergency dispatcher and you want to put a little reminder card to carry with you, minutes matter. Seconds save. Let's go on. So far, we're past that. If there's something bad going on, I think we're in a dangerous territory.
So Sierra, India, Romeo,
Yeah.
Alpha. Okay. And what's your callback number, please? Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
Okay. We are almost 3 minutes 30 in. And I know she just opened the CAD, the computer-aided dispatch, because of what she said. Because that is how at least the systems that I'm familiar with until they do a new update or whatever for the wording, is tell me exactly what happened. And then they're supposed to tell you exactly what happened. But that's something that you're supposed to have in the first 30 seconds. In the first 30 seconds, you get the where, the what, the who, and then you jump into the CAD for what the type of response it is. And that way, after you get this in the CAD, which should be in about 1 minute, 1 minute 45 or whatever, if I'm being generous again. And then you're going to be going through a lot of the additional details here, including pre-arrival, which she was doing pre-arrival crap. And it's, okay, let's go.
I'm not sure. Two of my friends have started seizing, and then I think there are
Two patients?
Yes, there's two of them.
What happened? What happened before this? I need to know exactly what happened.
Yeah, sure. They walked in, and then they started just like, they passed out on the floor, and I think they started seizing.
Are you with them now?
Okay, so two people. Now I'm the wheels are grinding in my head for what type of call this is going to be. Two people seizing, foaming. So that's not it wouldn't be somebody with like a seizure disorder. That would be somebody, because there's more than one person. So drug overdose? So like the question would be, is it possible that they would have been involved in alcohol or drugs at some point today? Or said anything about alcohol or drugs? Damn, let's see if they get into here.
Yes, I am. We just called residents, the campus.
Are they male or female?
They're both female.
Are they awake?
No, not.
Are they breathing?
So she's, oh God. Ah! My musical friend up north. How dare you send this to me? So, yeah, let's go ahead and break down why I'm mad right now. So she's rushing through, again, what would have been originally the ABC section of the CAD, but it's now, a lot more detailed. But she's rushing it because she already blasted through 3.5 minutes or almost 4 minutes worth of chatting up. And now she's rushing through the important part.
I'm not 100% sure. I think so. Will it be? Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Okay.
So right now, and I hope they added the Narcan script here, because that's something that we're working on. So if you don't know what Narcan is something that you can give. It's I think it's still nasal, and you spray it in to their nose, and if somebody's having an overdose, it can stop the reaction and save their lives. And that's where seconds would matter there.
Was anyone else with them before this? Can they tell me anything that happened?
I think they just got here.
Have they had more than one seizure in a row?
So we're looking for witnesses. Okay, that's good, but the incident is what you have here in front of you. So what's going on right now? So right now, there's two people having seizures. Not only does that sound like a overdose, it sounds like heroin or fentanyl. Something that's CNS related, central nervous system related. So, yeah, so asking, have they had any talking about drugs or alcohol or trying to get to that point. So the kids don't like to talk about it, but this is going to, save a life if they can.
Or lasting longer than 10 minutes.
What the hell? Okay. Have they been seizing longer than 10 minutes? I know what protocol you're in, and I'm about to lose my crap. They're in the seizure protocol. They are not in an overdose protocol. Now, if they had been asking things like about the whole drug thing, I could be completely wrong. It could be just simultaneously 2 people having a seizure disorder. Doubt it. Doubt it heavy. Holy crap. They're in the wrong... let's see if they correct it, though, because they're definitely in the wrong CAD. I mean... Yeah, we'll see.
Lasted 10 minutes?
You said they're seizing, so was it longer than 10 minutes, or was it multiple seizures, or just one seizure?
Nope, they're still in the seizure protocol for whatever frickin' reason.
I think it's just one. They might have had more, though.
Are you with them now?
I am, yeah.
Okay, so what's going on? What do you see?
Thank you. Change your protocol if you need to.
They're both just lying on their sides right now, just on the ground.
Are they pregnant, or have they been pregnant in the past 4 weeks?
No.
They're still in the seizure protocol and they're doing pre-arrival. Holy crap. I need a drink of water. I'm getting mad. And before you ask, yes, I still drink out of covered containers, so there.
They haven't.
Are they diabetic?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay, I gotta get my composure here. Sorry, this is so frustrating because if this is a drug overdose, time is being wasted here. A lot of frickin' time.
Are they an epileptic?
No.
Do they have a history of stroke or brain tumor?
God, frickin' seizure protocol. Why are you in there? You're allowed to change course, my kitten. If you think you're in the wrong protocol and you're going to get the better help by changing it, change it. They think it's spontaneously people having seizures, I guess.
No.
Has the jerking stopped yet?
Yes, it has.
Are they breathing right now?
Are they breathing right now?
All right. So that tells me somebody else is in the background. All right. So they're asking somebody else. That could be our ticket into getting the right help. I don't know.
Yes. Okay. Yes, they are.
Okay.
I just have.
So we need to do one at a time. They're breathing diagnostics. Okay. How old are they?
I'm sorry. What? All right. One at a time. Breathing diagnostic. Get out of the seizure protocol. Get out of it. Oh my God. Okay.
They're both 18.
18? Okay. So we're going to check their breathing together and make sure it's all right. So when I say go, watch them closely.
Just
Tell me
because.
each time their chest rises, okay? We're going to do.
Just because you're reading it in the CAD like you're supposed to does not mean you're doing the right thing, because you're in the wrong frickin' protocol. I think, anyway. My opinion is it's the wrong protocol. And not the right answers, not the right questions asked to get the right answers here. And just dragging her feet in the beginning just makes me so mad.
Do both of them one at a time, okay?
Can you count?
So say now each time.
When they're breathing?
I want you to. You're on the phone with me. So I want you to look one at a time. Say now each time for me.
Okay, so now she's being snide. Do not appreciate snide.
Now?
Next.
Oh. Now?
Next.
2.
So I need you to just say now each time they take a breath in.
Okay, so she also sucks at coaching.
Okay.
What's that sound?
What is it? Oh my God. That's someone gasping for air. Yeah, CNS fail. Oh my freaking God. Overdose, overdose. No, 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 no. We gotta look for Narcan. I'm jumping out of my seat here. Because that's almost agonal. It's not agonal. But it sounds like a CNS fail.
I think it's one of the girls.
And you can get that. If somebody's if somebody has a gunshot to their head and they're making that sound, it means that they're not productively breathing. It's not quite agonal respiration, but it's like their central nervous system is starting to fail. And that, if you get damage to your spinal cord, your brain, things like that can cause that sound too.
She is, I think she's frothing at the mouth.
Is she seizing again?
Yes, she is.
Okay. And was she alert between seizures?
Pardon me?
Was she alert between the seizures? Like awake alert?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
So, 7 minutes into the call, if this is an overdose, we're getting past the window of opportunity here.
So I'm sending the paramedics up as soon as possible, so just stay on the line. I'll tell you exactly what to do next. So if they're still seizing, do not do CPR. Don't hold them down or put anything into their mouth.
Yeah, they're still in the seizure protocol. Now they're doing pre-arrival. How disappointing.
And move dangerous objects away from them. I want you to tell me immediately when she stops seizing. And then the other patient, I want you to turn her gently on her side, and as she wakes up, reassure her and tell her not to get up or walk around, because she'll be confused, okay? So I want you to do the breathing diagnostic on the patient that's not seizing. So say now.
How? How in this galaxy can two people be having a standard epileptic seizure type of thing, or even a regular seizure? How would that happen? One, if you don't have any information, ask more questions.
Each time she takes a breath in. If you need to put your hand on her back and feel each time her chest expands, that's fine. So let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
So what did security say about a muster point? Security, you said, is aware.
911?
Yeah.
So, all right, so she's talking to the security guy in the background. That would be a good person to put on.
And they were asking how long it's been since, sorry, what was it called?
So I need to know where we need to meet security. You already told them, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so where are we meeting them?
Okay, so maybe that means that they're in the area. So that's a little bit encouraging, but right now we're in a dangerous window. Yeah.
Where are we meeting them?
Where are the crews that are coming to help your friends? Where is security going to meet them?
Oh,
Are they still there? Security still there? Can I speak to them?
oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay, so now we're getting a security. We're almost 10 minutes in. We're 8 minutes and 36 in, and then we're getting to talk to the security guy, which sounds like he was there for a while.
Security, can you go to Muster Point Delta, please?
Muster Point Delta, perfect. Okay. So I need to check the patient's breathing, the one that's not seizing.
Yeah.
Are you able to do that for me?
Yeah, no, I got a slight breath.
Okay, I want you to say now each time she takes a breath, so I'm going to count them.
Gotcha. Yes, now.
Next.
It's very stable, pretty shallow.
I want you to say now each time, nothing else, so I can count them.
You have to hold on, okay?
Yeah.
It's too late now. It's too late now. Oh my God, I'm mad. I am livid. 9 minutes 29 in. That's agonal respirations. That's not the CNS sound. That's not a CNS gasp. That is agonal. They're dying. Or technically dead already. What the hell, man? Oh my freaking God, I'm mad.
Yeah, no, it's pretty clear. Yeah, switch. I'm gonna switch off.
Are you ready?
Yeah, just hang tight.
I'm trying to listen to the background here.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, say now each time she takes a breath.
Okay. Now.
Next.
Now.
Next.
Now.
Next.
Now.
Next.
Now.
Okay, she's breathing effectively, okay.
No,
And
she's
is the other
not.
patient waking up now?
Oh my freaking God. I am so jumping out of my chair on this one. So no, she's not. It's not productive breathing. It's not productive breathing at all. Okay.
No, they're both still.
They're both still? Okay, is the other one still seizing?
She's doing something. It looks like she may still be seizing a bit.
Okay. Is it a possibility they've taken something?
Oh my God. All right. I hope they got the little tiny room talking by a lot of managers and supervisors. Like, I'm talking about, like, not just your immediate supervisor, but, like, I don't know how ambulance companies work, so I said manager. I don't. But, yeah, she better have had that tiny room talk because we are 10 minutes, 54 seconds in, and she's finally asking the drug question, which is my suspicion on this call. I mean, again, could be flat out wrong. But questions were not asked. Now they are.
It's unknown, and we don't know if either of them have any seizure conditions either.
Okay.
Okay.
And not knowing is valid, so I'm not dissing on the college student or the security guy. All they have is what you give them. So they're in a situation where you are the voice of authority and you're supposed to guide them. That's not what's happening here.
So has the other one stopped seizing now?
No, she keeps periodically seizing here.
Okay. How many has it been?
How long has it been since she started?
Yeah.
I'd say it's been about 15 minutes at this point.
Okay. 15 minutes. I am hoping I'm wrong, but someone's going to be dead by the end of this call. I really hope I'm wrong. So we are 11 minutes 31 in the call, which if he's saying 15 minutes means there's 4 minutes unaccounted, about, 3:30 or 4 minutes unaccounted before the call. The window is shrinking. There's way too much quiet here, too.
Does anyone have any Narcan?
I think so. Yeah, we have Narcan.
Thank you. Could you have asked these questions in the beginning of the call? Yeah, you coulda. You coulda asked the drug questions or even the Narcan question. Because again, Narcan will not hurt a healthy person. If someone's just having a seizure, you can give them Narcan. It's not going to hurt them. If you suspect there's a drug overdose and someone has Narcan, administer the Narcan. Minutes matter. Seconds save. Ah!
Okay. Are they awake?
No, none of them are awake right now.
Can we track down their friends who they're with?
Okay.
Just leave the phone with the patients. And if you can find any further info.
Something.
Pardon?
There's a high probability that they have taken something, according to one of the residents.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, and I heard in the background someone was saying, "You're not going to be in trouble. Did they take anything?" So I don't know if you heard that in the background before he said that.
So, yeah, if you could administer one Narcan each, please. Just let me know when those are done.
All right, so it's better late than never, but there's a lot of damage that's done if you don't get to it fast, right? She eventually got there, so, but I'm not going to give her a trophy. We're 12 minutes 52 in. The drug question, again, the odds of two people having a seizure at the same time is astronomical unless there's some atmospheric thing going on or drugs or alcohol. So, or even being hit by a car. But we know they didn't get hit by a car in the dorm room. So that would narrow it down to what would be the most possible thing is a drug overdose, right? That's the most possible thing because somebody else is physically there with the bodies and they're not suddenly feeling dizzy or lightheaded, so it's not environmental. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, first patient has been given a dose.
Great.
Yeah, the other thing about Narcan is it works really fast.
Second patient has been given a dose. You can get us the readout as well. I back on Narcan here. Just so that you don't get you.
We're getting agonal. She's dead. He gave her Narcan, and now we're agonal. That's 100% agonal respiration right there. Someone is freaking dying on the floor. Pretty much dead, because if they're going into agonal, the CNS thing is where you're starting to get where it's not productive, right? There's like an issue with productive breathing, a productive circulation. At that point, CPR is still okay. But, again, if you suspect a drug overdose, Narcan as fast as possible. And then you don't have to do CPR. I mean, unless they need it. Yeah, she's in agonal.
Are they both still on their side?
Yep.
Okay. Just let them rest in the most comfortable position, wait for help to arrive, and I'll just stay on the line here as long as I can. So please watch them very closely, look for any changes, And if they become less awake or start getting worse, just tell me immediately.
All right, I'm hearing a tremble in the voice, like she knows she screwed up. Nice. So I don't know if she got read the riot act by somebody or what happened there.
Okay.
Just don't leave them alone till the paramedics are right there. And tell me when they're there with him.
Okay, so for all of you that missed the other call that we had that had agonal respiration in it, this is it. Agonal respiration is completely unproductive breathing and circulation. They're in the process of dying. When you start hearing agonal, the window is closing a lot faster.
I don't think I'm getting a pulse on this one.
Yep. All right. Wow. Okay.
Is she breathing?
I'm just going to confirm. What's her name again? Sydney? Sydney, can you hear me?
Is she breathing? Look at her. Is she taking any breaths?
All right. So talk and shake is actually a really good thing. So it sounds like he's doing the talk and shake.
Hey, can you get this one? I don't think she's breathing right now.
Okay. We're going to start CPR, okay? If there's a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it.
It's too late. It's way too freaking late. So, God, I hate to be a sad messenger here, but yeah, it's too late. We've gone way too long. Her brain is oxygen starved at this point, and the central nervous system shut down.
Do you guys have a defibrillator?
Hello?
Hi. Do you have a defibrillator available?
I got it. Hey, Sydney, wake up.
Do you guys have a defibrillator available, please?
Yeah, we got fire here.
Okay, so the fire's there. 15 minutes, 42. But that's only in the call, so there was 4 extra minutes. So we're talking about more than 20, like just over 20 minutes. I am beyond mad.
Fire's with you? Oh, okay, I'll let you go.
All right, so you heard my take on this. Yeah. Screw, F around and find out is kind of what this is, because this would be a call that you could be terminated on. Because, again, I will look in a minute here. I'll do a pause and pull up information on it to see if I'm right, because I don't know if I'm right. I don't know if this was an overdose, but it sounds like an overdose of heroin or fentanyl with the sound and the CNS problem going on. So central nervous system is CNS. And there are drugs that shut that down or suppress it. Fentanyl is one of them. But I'll pause that and we'll pull it up and we'll look at it together. All right, so I have the article up here. Circumstances leading to University of Victoria students' fatal overdose. Shocking, says drug squad investigators. Sydney Mcintyre-starko died of fentanyl. Yeah. I was unfortunately right. Poisoning after snorting drugs with 2 friends in dorm bathroom. God freaking damn it. So this is, oh, no wonder they sent it. So they sent it to me around this date of May 6th. So this might be why. Okay, so for me, it doesn't matter how she got it. That's a problem for, you know, BC and the college. Yeah, don't do drugs, stay in school. So here's a quote here. So, such a shocking story that somebody found drugs and then decided to use these drugs as a group without knowing what these drugs were or where they came from. Wow. We found a box of unopened wine coolers in a downtown Victoria street after a dance class. Student 1 said she took the wine coolers back to the campus on the bus before handing over the box to 3 friends. So that's again, the drug and alcohol question would have been great in the first 30 seconds. So we could have saved their life. Anyway, they found a vial of powdery substance in the bottom of the box. I'm sorry, if I found a mysterious powder in a container in the bottom of a box, I'm pretty sure I would not be inhaling that. Yeah, the other thing is when you get a call like this, let them know. You know, were drugs and alcohol involved? You know, get that from the beginning. You know, is it possible that they were drinking or doing any kind of drugs? You're not in trouble. We want to help, and again, that's when you pull help out of the tool chest here. I want to help your friend, or friends in this case, plural. And that usually helps them to help you get the right help. Help, 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 help. Help is your best word. Help, help. Okay. I'm trying to make light because it's a self-defense mechanism for me. So that's what it looked like, huh? Bummer. Yeah, it is not typical for drugs to be left unattended on the street. Most people who are drug addicts do not let it out of their sight. So it is a little bit weird. But they picked up like drugs and alcohol off the street and decided, yeah, let's just go ahead and do it. Oh my God. I'm not putting the blame on the victims for this call. This call is not the victim's fault. They could have had the Narcan in the beginning of this call and still be alive today. Narcan will not hurt a healthy person. If there's even the slightest chance that this is a drug overdose, it's okay to give them Narcan, just to rule it out. All right. Oh, even worse. All right, so it looks like despite initial tests of the drugs indicating it was a mixture of cocaine and fentanyl, both CNS related, the official toxicology report found no trace of cocaine. Okay. Level of fentanyl detected was potentially fatal. Fentanyl is potentially fatal all the time. Do not do fentanyl. And it is a central nervous system suppressor. It'll make it so that you stop having the urge to breathe or to breathe productively. It's used for like surgeries sometimes. Again, I'm not a doctor, so if you're a doctor, you could tell me what the actual medical use would be. I personally don't see any medical use for fentanyl, but I'm not a doctor. So, wow, that's sad. All right. Nothing about the call receiver getting talked to, but I guarantee they did with the way that this call, not only because the call went public, that's why you should always, when you take a call, pretend like every single call, or at least in the back of your mind, think to yourself, every single call is a 3-star, everybody can see you talking on the court testimony stand type of call. You're living in a glass cage, and you have to behave appropriately for that. There is no comfy spot. And it sounds like she was in a comfy spot, not physically, I mean, mentally in a comfy spot while taking the call, because she was so calm, casual, relaxed, like she's talking to her friend that they're going to meet up for coffee when somebody's central nervous system is shutting down. And I am absolutely livid. So, yeah. My first reaction to, just a reaction to a call I have never heard. And this is sad. But you've had a chance to listen to some CNS respiration problem. So that's helpful, right? And again, the CNS thing can happen if somebody falls, if there's damage to their brain or spinal, if they've been shot, if they've been stabbed in areas where the main spinal column or brain is, which affects the central nervous system. But then we get diagonal respirations, and that's the ticket to the end. And we heard the security guy said the chick had no pulse. So very unproductive. To the family and friends of Sydney Mcintyre-starko, my heart goes out to you, to your friends, your family. And this should have gone differently. Could have gone differently. With that, though, please take care. Stay safe. Don't be naughty. And until next time. And now that I've heard it, I'll see if there's the news report. If there is, I'll put it at the end. Take care.
In January last year, 18-year-old Sydney Mcintyre-starko died of fentanyl poisoning at her University of Victoria dorm room. Her parents raised concerns about the response of UVic campus security and how long it took to administer Narcan and CPR. The case led to an independent investigation and a broader discussion at post-secondary institutions. A coroner's inquest was also called to understand the procedural failures in the teen's death. And this morning, the jury issued its recommendations. CBC reporter Karen Larson joins me now. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Michelle.
Can you remind us first of this very sad case surrounding the death of Sydney Mcintyre-starko?
Sydney Mcintyre-starko was an 18-year-old first-year student at UVic in December of 2024. She and two friends, and a very strange story, it would take a long time to explain it, came into the possession of a vial of drugs. Now, they say they didn't know what was in this vial of drugs, but they decided to take it anyway. So one early evening, they went into their dorm bathroom and snorted the powdery substance that was in this vial. It turned out to be fentanyl. Now, Sydney Mcintyre-starko, one of the other students, fell unconscious pretty quickly after that, and the third student phoned 911. Sydney was the one who went into the most medical distress, I guess you could call it. 911 was called, campus security attended, but Starko McIntyre did not make it. She ended up dying from the fentanyl that they had taken that night. You know, the inquest heard that this was her first time taking this kind of street drug, and it seemed to the parents that her death was not only tragic but also preventable, which is how we ended up at this inquest.
And one of the main concerns was the handling of the 911 call. We have tape of that call. I just want to give a warning that we are about to play some of it, and it may be disturbing for some. Karen, can you explain first what we're about to hear and what it illustrates?
Right, so I've edited this down, Michelle, this clip, and so one of the concerns raised was that it took 3.5 minutes from the start of the 911 call for the 911 call operator from BC Ambulance to establish the location of where Mcintyre-starko and the other student had fallen unconscious. Now, they lived in a dorm called Sir Arthur Currie Student Residence, which is on the UVic campus. It's been there since 1967, but the 911 operator couldn't locate it on her map. And so it takes 3.5 minutes to nail down where, potentially the operator was going to send an ambulance. That didn't happen right away either. And it's only after 3.5 minutes that the 911 operator asked what the problem is. Now, the problem was that as someone who's overdosing on fentanyl, what will happen first is that they will stop breathing, and then they will start suffering brain damage because there's no oxygen going to the brain, and then they will die from a heart attack. Anyway, let's listen to the clip I cut of the 911 call now.
BC Ambulance, for what city?
Victoria.
What's the address?
It's Sir Arthur Currie. We live in the UVic residences.
Okay, let me just see here. I'm just looking at the residence locations here. So what is it called?
It's Sir Arthur Currie, and it's off of Lot 5.
Arthur Currie? Lot 5?
Arthur Currie.
Okay.
And
Hold on one second here. I gotta find you first. I just don't see that building on my map. Has Robert Wallace.
do you want me to respell it?
No, I just mean I just don't see it here off of Lot 5. Maybe it's just not one of the ones labeled on my map here.
Oh.
Yeah, so Michelle, you can just hear from that the confusion. As I said, that was edited down. It took 3.5 minutes before the 911 operator asked what the problem is because she can't locate where the student residence is. As it turns out, it doesn't really have a civic address, and this is true of a lot of buildings on university campuses, that everyone on campus knows where they are, but they don't have an actual civic address. And the 911 operator actually testified in front of the coroner that on her map, all the buildings, all the resident buildings just look like gray boxes. And so that caused a delay in response for the ambulance getting there. And that could have been obviously a critical problem with the response to the overdose.
And as Sydney's parents, as I mentioned, were very vocal in their criticism. There have been changes made at post-secondary institutions. What led to this coroner's inquest?
Well, those criticisms, many of them were directed at how campus security officers responded. They were called. They did attend the scene. They do have first aid training. They do carry naloxone. But because there was 2 students who were unconscious and turning blue, we heard testimony about that, and also having seizures, which can happen in drug overdoses, they didn't immediately give the Narcan or diagnose what the problem was. It also didn't help the 3rd student didn't immediately tell that they had taken drugs. She said when she testified that she was worried she would get in trouble. That information was divulged a little bit later. But overall, what we hear in the response is just this delay in actually, figuring out or responding. And so it took 12 minutes before Narcan was administered to the 2 students that had passed out, including Mcintyre-starko. It was probably too late at that point for her. And then it took a total of 15 minutes before CPR was started. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation, chest compressions can keep a person alive by oxygenating the blood and pumping it, to some degree through the body to keep the brain alive and keep, oxygen moving through the blood. But that didn't happen, and it was too late. And there was also one other issue we should mention is the ambulance did show up. It did take Mcintyre-starko to the hospital, but when she got there, they didn't know who she was. She wasn't identified. The BC ambulance attendant did not know her name. The university didn't follow through on that. So she was in the emergency department at Royal Jubilee Hospital as an unidentified person. Her mother, Caroline McIntyre, is an emergency room physician here in the Vancouver area. And she testified on the first day, and it was just incredibly heartbreaking how her daughter was essentially dead in the emergency room at Royal Jubilee, and no one knew. The family wasn't informed because the hospital didn't know who this person was, and the university didn't follow through, even though it did put out a statement afterwards that it had in fact, informed the hospital who this person, that in fact was not true. And so there was a lot of discrepancies in information around this tragic incident.
And so today, what have been the findings this morning, Karen?
Well, following up on everything we've talked about, one of them was for universities to have civic addresses on buildings to make it clearer where emergency responders can go to, and that this information should be widely shared and widely publicized on the building, within campus as well, and on maps. So that's a pretty straightforward one there. There were actually 10 recommendations in total, and they span, the target being from the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Post-Secondary Education, BC Ambulance. One of them was that there should be a timer on when calls come in to when the call taker actually gets to the issue, because 3.5 minutes, I think, as a lot of people would agree, before you ask what the emergency is an unacceptable amount of time, especially when someone's not breathing and unconscious.
We'll have much more throughout the day here, of course. Karen Larson, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
CBC reporter Karen Larson. And again, those recommendations issued just this morning from the coroner's inquest looking into the death of a UVic teen at her dorm room last year.